Hi friends, welcome back to my channel for another video. If this is the first time you're here, hi, my name is Maddi. I am a mum in Australia, and on my channel here I show you what I cook each week, almost every week, and I also show you all of my grocery shops. And what I like to do is I like to shop monthly. So each month I do one main grocery shop from Woolies and from my fruit and veg shop. And then of course I have a top-up shop midway through the month as well for things that I run out of and we like to buy fresh. So my first ever video on this YouTube channel, I showed you my monthly grocery haul. And then my next 3 videos I did what I cooked each week for dinners for 3 weeks. And this was supposed to be the 4th week of dinners from that monthly grocery haul, but life got in the way. So I was unable to film that 4th week of meals, which I'm really quite sad about, but I thought, look, that's okay. There's definitely more of that to come on this channel. So instead I decided to do a little top-up shop and make a 5th week of meals and make these on a budget. So these are 5 budget-friendly dinner ideas. I'm starting off here with butter chicken. This is a Recipe Tin Eats recipe. Nagy has published this in her book, but also it's online free for anyone to access. So as always, I'll link all the recipes below. What I love about this recipe, and it's the reason why I've made it so many times, it's not only delicious, it tastes, in my opinion, the same, if not better, than store-bought butter chicken. But it's cheap and easy because there aren't many ingredients and there's not that many steps. The hardest thing about this recipe is remembering to marinate the chicken in your Greek yogurt. There's some spices and a little bit of lemon. This time, luckily, I did remember and I thought ahead, and I've given it a good 4 or 5 hours to marinate. So once you've let the chicken marinade, and I believe Nagy recommends you can marinate it for up to overnight. Just a note here too, like I said, I usually forget to marinate this chicken. So there's been times where I've only left it for half an hour, and it still turns out really, really yummy. I want to say I almost can't notice the difference, but I'm sure that the flavour is a bit different if you let it marinate, and the chicken's probably a bit more tender. But once you've let it marinate, you want to cook the chicken about halfway through in some butter. So I just cook it until it's all gone white. Then you need to add your cream and your tomato passata and a little bit of sugar. I let this then cook with the lid off until it becomes a really nice, like golden orange colour. You'll notice that the colour really progresses from a light pink to a dark orange, and the chicken's cooked through. Now on this night, I paired this with just some basmati rice and some garlic naan bread that I bought from the shops, the Mission garlic naan bread. I usually like to cook cauliflower rice to have with this to add a serving of vegetables, but I decided on this night I cooked up a little bit of frozen spinach in a small pan for myself, because I know my partner, he doesn't like anything other than, I want to say traditional, but just stock standard buttered chicken. So I cooked up a little bit of spinach for myself, which went really, really nice with this dish. I generally like spinach in like my Indian curries. If we're ordering Indian, I get the spinach curry. I'm not sure of the name of it. I think it starts with a P, but I just think the flavors go really nice with Indian food with the spinach. So yeah, this turned out really, really yummy, and of course it made so much. So this would easily feed a larger family. But in our case, it was lunches for a few days after. So it's the next night here, and I am making corned meat. I feel like this is such an underrated dinner option. It's one of your cheaper cuts of meat, and it just pairs so nicely with roast veggies and a white sauce, or it can make a really, really great cold meat. We really like it for lunches the next day or days after we have it for dinner. So how I like to cook corned meat, or also known as silver side, is I like to boil it. So to do that, you want a large pot. You pop your corned meat in and fill it up with water so the water goes over the meat. You bring that to a boil, and then you drain that water and wipe down the pan. Then you do the same thing again. So you pop your meat back in, fill it back up with water so it covers the meat, and then you want to put in like your standard stock, ingredients. So I put in an onion, some bay leaves, some celery. I also put in a whole bulb of garlic, a carrot, some peppercorn, and also some cloves. And then you let that simmer. I let mine cook for 2 hours, which is the usual recommended time, before obviously removing it from the stock and slicing it up. I have previously also kept this stock as like a beef stock. I still have some in the freezer, so I decided not to keep this batch of stock. I had it this night with just some roast veggies that we had left over in the fridge. So some broccoli, some carrot, some pumpkin, and just some white potato. Like I said, it usually is really nice with a white sauce, but my partner didn't have time to make that tonight, and he always makes the white sauce, so we just had it with Koopy, and it was still really a really easy, cheap, yummy dinner. So for night 3, I am making a dish I was really excited to make again, and that is homemade dumplings with a really quick bean salad on the side. I was really excited to make this dish again because of how well it turned out last time, and the fact that I already had the pork and the chicken filling already made. The first time we made it about, I want to say a month and a half ago, we made 500 grams of pork mince filling and 500 grams of chicken mince filling. I'll link the recipes to those below, but they are a really economical recipe. Other than some shiitake mushrooms, it really has all of like the garlic and spices and sauces that you would typically have in the fridge and cupboard. So for the 3 of us that night, we only needed 250 grams of chicken and 250 grams of the pork mince to make 60 dumplings, which was more than enough. So I went ahead and froze the remaining pork and chicken dumplings for another night. So all I needed to do tonight was defrost the mince, buy some more of the dumpling wrappers, which you can buy in packs of 30 from Woolies for about $3 each. And then I also made this bean salad, which is my go-to quick and easy salad to pair with any of like these Japanese meals. So to make this bean salad, all you need to do is top and tail the beans and then blanch them. I blanched them for about 4 minutes in boiling hot water before putting them in icy cold water to stop them from cooking. And then all you need to do is mix the beans with some soy sauce, some sesame oil, a finely chopped garlic clove, and then also if you've got it, it is really nice if you roast some sesame seeds and also mix that in. And you'll see me here in a minute starting to put together these dumplings. I have this little nifty, what would you call it, dumpling press that my mum bought me one Christmas years and years ago, and it's such a great little gadget. I'll try and find it and link it below. But what you do is you just pop on your dumpling wrappers. You can make your own if you want to, but I've just found that's a bit of a tedious job, and you know it's just cheap and easy to buy these wrappers from the store. So you put down the wrapper, you put in a little bit of the filling, and then you press it together. Now unfortunately Woolworths didn't have the wrappers, the brand of wrappers that I usually buy. They only had this cheaper brand, which I thought would be okay, but they're just slightly smaller than the other wrappers. So they didn't work as well in the press because they weren't large enough to make a really good seal around the side when you press it down. So I ended up just using my hands, which is honestly just as easy. You just don't get that nice, not scalloped, but that nice pattern around the edge of the dumpling when it presses down. Once I finish pressing and making all of these dumplings, you'll see my partner goes ahead and cooks them. So what he does is he just puts a bit of butter in a pan and heats that up, pops dumplings down, and then puts in a splash of water and covers them and cooks them for about 8 minutes until the water's evaporated. And that's it. You get a really nice, soft on the top, crunchy on the bottom, and cooked through dumpling. We serve these with the bean salad, some kupi, some soy sauce, some pickled ginger, and also some crispy chili oil. Such a yummy dinner. In one of my upcoming videos, I'll show you how I make the mince, but I'll leave the recipes down below for anyone that's interested in the meantime. I also forgot to say, when you're making these dumplings, you want to put a little bit of water around the rim of the wrapper so that it kind of acts as like an adhesive to seal the dumplings closed when you press them together. So today is Sunday, and this week, as you know, I've been filming budget dinner ideas for the week. Now, we have had quite a busy day today. This morning, my partner got up early to do a long run for an event he's training for. And then Lola and I went to our park run, which we do almost each week with my brother and his wife, and my mum and my sister was actually there this week as well. So we go do park run, we walk it, my brother runs it, and then we have coffee after. So that was nice to get up and do that and get some sun. And then I had 3 hours sleep last night, so I was really quite exhausted. But we had my partner's mum and her partner come round for lunch, which was really nice. She brought lunch, quiche and a salad, which was really, really nice of her to do. So we had that on, and then we also just did some tidying of the home. I managed to have a little bit of a nap while Lola naps, which is a rarity. I let myself nap instead of doing things like all the dishes that I've got in the sink and all the clean dishes we've got in the dishwasher. But I'm not going to complain about that, because I think I've mentioned in a previous video, maybe I mentioned it in one of my TikTok videos, I'm so grateful for our dishwasher not having to wash up all the dishes. Sure, there's still dishes that I need to wash up, but this is the first house that my partner and I have lived in together on our own that has had a dishwasher. So yeah, it's really, really, really handy. So that's not too much of a worry. But yeah, we've just had a bit of a busy day. I was going to cook a green curry, and I was going to do a slow cooker version with these chicken legs that I got on sale. This is 1.6 kilos of chicken legs, and it was $6.40, down from $7.20. So I picked these up and popped them in the freezer, and I was going to do this for dinner tonight, but just didn't think ahead to defrost it. So that's okay. I'm just going to defrost it now. So I'm going to pop it in the fridge. We'll leave it out for a little bit and then pop it in the fridge tonight. So it's good to go tomorrow, and I'll film that in this video. So that's going to be tomorrow, which is okay. And tonight my partner just went and picked up a good old Woolworths roast chicken. So this is going to be our dinner tonight, and it was $12.50, and it's not only going to be dinner, this will obviously last us for lunches for the next few days. But I've got some bread rolls in the freezer just from previous months when I've bought bread rolls, because I usually do buy them and we don't eat them all. So we'll have this on a bread roll. We've got some salad left over from lunch, but I love roast pumpkin with roast chicken on a roll. So that's what I'm going to do. So simple. I was thinking, was there even any point in filming this? But I wanted to, because this is real life for us, and it's still a budget dinner. Pumpkins are in season at the moment. We've got 4 big pumpkins growing in the backyard at the moment. I went to pick one, update on that actually. I went to pick one yesterday because I went to check on them, and there was this white powdery film which wasn't there a few days ago on this pumpkin. Quick Google search, because we didn't have much time. We had to head out yesterday afternoon. And from the quick Google search that I did, it said that white mildewy, well not mildew, but that white powder can mean some sort of fungus or something that can lead to the rot of the pumpkin. So I just pulled it off. It's quite big. I'll show you. We've got lots of pumpkins. This is the pumpkin I pulled off yesterday. Huge, right? This is Lola's head. This is my head. Big pumpkin. I thought, yeah, it looks like it's ripe. I Googled, and apparently if you hit it, and if it sounds hollow, it's ripe. This doesn't sound hollow, but I thought, look, I'll pick it and have a look. I've got 4 other big pumpkins growing out there, so that's okay. pulled it off, cut it in, and it's, I don't know if you can see on my camera, but it's like, it's more yellowy than it is orange. Also, hopefully you can see how the seeds are really bunched up in the middle? So to me, I don't think this pumpkin is ready to go. This is a pumpkin I actually bought from the fruit and veg shop, and also a Kent pumpkin. Looking at it actually, it's much smaller than the one that I grew. Maybe it's a different type of pumpkin, but no, it's a Kent pumpkin, much smaller. But if you look at the inside, this is my pumpkin. This is the Kent pumpkin. It's nice and orange. And also the seeds, you can see they're much bigger and there's a bigger hole in the middle. So my non-gardening mind thinks this still needs to grow so that the middle can expand and the seeds can mature a bit more. So stay tuned on my volunteer pumpkin growing expedition. Hopefully we get 4 really nice pumpkins out of the garden. I'm actually gonna roast a little bit of this pumpkin tonight and see if it still turns out nice, because I'm sure there's no harm in eating it. But this is a pumpkin I got, like I said, from the fruit and veg shop, and I'm just gonna cut it up and roast it to have on some chicken rolls. So let's get started. I'm gonna put the chicken back in the fridge. Now you see me a lot holding roller while I'm cutting things. I'm very cautious of that when I'm in the kitchen. It's so cute, Lola. Whenever I get talking, Lola always starts talking. She's saying mama and baba. So hopefully Dada is coming soon. Dada? Yeah. Okay. I'm going to try and cut this semi-thinly so that it doesn't take too long to cook. Even though this is not a meal that we are cooking from scratch, we bought a hot chook from Woolies, which is $12.50, whereas I could have probably done my own for $6 or $7. Nights like this, it just pays off, and we're still making a meal out of it ourselves. For a little while there, I almost talked myself into getting Red Rooster. We had the, a little while back, we had the hot honey chicken as a little treat, and it was so good. But I thought about this pumpkin, and I love roast pumpkin, and we had bought the roast chook, so we're going to make do, and I think it's going to be really nice. So I'm proud of us for not giving into Red Rooster, even though there's nothing wrong with that, like in general. It's not a big deal for us to go get takeout. This week, we just wanted to be extra mindful of trying to make it as cheap as possible. So yeah, tonight we're not going to get takeout, and instead we're going to have a really yummy chicken roll at home. I'll do one more piece because actually no, that's all I'm going to do for that. I'm going to also give Lola a little bit of roast pumpkin, and then I'm going to cut up just one piece of this. That's all I need. Oh, whoa, it's a thick piece. And I can just tell like how hard this is to cut into. It's not right. But I don't want it to go to waste, so I'm going to see if green, yes, look, it's green. Oh. side-by-side comparison. My pumpkin, you can really see there how the seeds haven't matured fully. My pumpkin from the shops, it's not like super different actually. I don't know if this camera is doing it justice, but you can even just feel like the difference in the texture. This one's harder. So that's okay, let's stick with this. It might still taste okay. Okay, I'm going to put a little bit of olive oil on this pumpkin, but no salt and pepper, mostly because Lola's going to be having a little bit of it. Yum! And this is my way too of just adding a bit of veggie to dinner. And roast pumpkin's so nice with roast chicken. Alright, so I'm going to leave that now. I'll see what the time is. Now, for the fifth and final dinner, I'm making this green curry that I'm using the drumsticks for. I couldn't believe it. I woke up the next morning and those drumsticks were still sitting in that water for the cold water defrost method. I was meaning to put them in the fridge before I went to bed, but I completely forgot. I'm going to blame the 3 hours sleep I had the night before, but it was such a bummer. I hate wasting food, and I just felt like I just wasted all of those chicken legs because I did. And I felt really bad about that. Sure, they were only $6, but it's more than the money to me. It's the fact that I've just wasted food that was perfectly good. But look, these things happen, and I still really wanted to make the chicken drumstick curry, like the chicken from the drumsticks for this curry. So I went ahead and bought 2 kilos of drumsticks from Coles, so I could Woolworths, so I could still do this recipe. So I popped them in the slow cooker, and all I put in was a little bit of olive oil and one of the portioned chicken, sorry if you can hear my daughter, portions of chicken stock that I had in the freezer from when I made the chicken noodle soup last week. And that is it. I let that cook for 5 hours in the slow cooker, and they turned out perfect, really tender. They fell off the bone, you'll see it in a minute, and it really made a great chicken option for this green curry. Now for the green curry, all I did was chop up some eggplant, a capsicum, some garlic, some ginger, and I fried that all up in the pan with some dried shiitake mushrooms before adding in the green curry paste, the Thai green curry paste, to let that fry off for a little bit and become really aromatic. And then I put in 2 cans of coconut cream and a little bit of water, and just let that cook until it became really, really fragrant. I let it simmer for about half an hour on low in the pot. While that was simmering, I went ahead and took the meat off the bones in the slow cooker, and you'll see that in a minute, making sure that I got the main bone out and then the second smaller bone from each of the chicken legs. I then just covered it in Glad wrap until I was ready to add it to the curry. I was busy with my daughter, nursing her, and Ben popped the chicken in the fridge, which is so okay. But all that meant was I just didn't want to heat it up again altogether. So I added it to my curry that night and Ben's curry. And then you'll see as well, I waited until the next day. I portioned the curry into 3 containers ready for the freezer. I put that in the fridge overnight, and the next day I mixed the cold curry with the cold chicken and then popped it in the freezer all mixed together. Look, it was probably okay to heat up the chicken again, but I've said it before in previous videos, I'm a bit funny about how I handle my chicken. So I decided just to wait and mix it together while it was all the same temperature. Now to pair with this curry, I'm just heating up some roti. I buy this roti in packs of 30 from my local fruit and veg shop. I really like this brand, and I've heard you can get it the exact same brand from Costco. I pay $14 for the whole packet, so it works out to be about 50 cents per piece. And it's super simple. You just pull it out frozen, pop it on a pan and fry it off on both sides. No oil, no butter, nothing. So that was a really easy, simple side to have with this green curry. Now, if you've made it this far in the video, thank you so much. I really appreciate it. And please let me know down in the comments if you do enjoy this video. I really, really enjoy talking with you guys down in the comments. Now, I've got a really exciting few videos planned, and I also have an announcement that I'm really looking forward to sharing with you guys in the next video. So please subscribe if you're interested in finding out what it is. It's a project that I've been working on the last few weeks that I'm really excited to share. So thank you so much, and bye for now. I'll see you in the next video.